Hi guys, so I'm literally just ran to my car. I'm in the parking garage, as you can see. Oh, maybe we should keep, I'm literally out of breath. So I just like ran down here, but I don't know like how the best angle to do this is. This? Okay, so I literally was just scrolling on my phone and I finally saw that the Fourth Wing is like back in stock. There's no Barnes & Nobles near me, so they're back in all the Barnes & Nobles. So I was like, okay, let me check my local bookstores, and there's a couple that, at least online, they're saying they're in stock. So I'm like, I really want to pick it up in store. Should I have just ordered it and then picked it up in store? Yes, but we're gonna roll the dice yet again. And, you know, so I can finally fucking read this book, form my own opinion, see how it is. I think I'm gonna love it, even though a lot of my favorite booktubers are not liking it, but we're gonna see. But I've been trying literally for like a month and a half to get this book, so hopefully I get it, keep you updated. Let's go. Oh my god, hi everyone. As you probably saw from the b-roll, I fucking got it. I'm so pumped. Also got another book. I'll do a little haul when I get home because it's bloody hot out, and there's a lot of people walking around and I don't really like it. But hang on. But as you can see, I went to that coffee shop. I used to live around here and the coffee shop's so cute. And they do monthly themed, so I have the Totoro, like monthly themed drinks and everything. So I got the Totoro from my neighbor Totoro. It was Ghibli or Ghibli, I always never know how to say it, but that was the themes of this month, and it was some really cute flavors. I think this was like hazelnut and toffee. I mean, definitely super sweet. It's definitely my treat of the day, but we good. So I'm gonna go home, do the haul. It is so hot out. It's probably the hottest day of the year here. Oh my god. So yeah, we need to get back into the AC. Okay, we are back home. Ignore Winnie in the background. I can't believe I still got my hands on this. It's here. She's here. Not black sprayed edges, but it's okay. She's here still in all of her glory somewhat. I was scrolling on my phone and I went on to Barnes & Noble, and the Barnes & Noble is really close to me, did close, but there's a couple out in the suburbs, and I saw that almost all the Barnes & Nobles out in the suburbs had these in stock, and I was like, oh my god, everyone must have gotten a shipment. So I checked the local bookstores that were closest to me, and 2 of them did have them in stock. They were closest. So I literally dropped everything and got in my car and drove there, and they had them. They had a lot of copies. I literally have not been able to get myself a copy of it, and literally like since it came out. I missed the cutoff to get the bad boys. And I was going to, like, the weekend it came out, I was about to go to Barnes & Noble and could have gotten myself the black sprayed ones, but oh well. But we have it now. We're so excited to read it. Don't think I'm gonna really explain to you what this is, because I'm sure you are sick and tired of seeing it, but all I know is dragons, romance, fantasy, good times. That's all I need, and that's all I'm going to do. However, that is my episode. So while I was obviously book shopping, I was thinking about getting some other books there. There was another book that I did get because I recently watched one of Olivia Reads a Latte's vlogs, and she is reading Jennifer Lynn Barnes' other series. She is the author of the Inheritance Games, and I absolutely was obsessed with the Inheritance Games. I gobbled them up. Sit down. I absolutely gobbled them up. So I'm going to try her next series, The Naturals. She was just absolutely raving about this, like just having a fun time reading YA, and that's kind of what I want to. I have been reading kind of like intense fantasy books, so I feel like this might be a nice break from it. And also, the main character's name is Cassie, spelled my way too, so that was definitely a motivator. Let me know down in the comments if you guys too buy books, kind of an auto buy, or or either an auto buy or you're immediately interested in a book just because it has your main character has your name. Let me know. Maybe it's just me saying. Maybe it's a little narcissistic. Oh well. But I'm very excited to try this book and see how it is. Also funny too, the main character, Fourth Wing, his name is Violet, and that's my mom's name. So, little connection. We got Violet and Cassie in this book haul. Hey guys, so this is an angle, this is a view, we're just gonna roll with it. I realized I haven't really given you a reading update at all for this beauty. I am exactly 200 pages in. Am I kind of obsessed with it? Yes I am. I will have to say though, I think I was having such a hard time in the beginning because I kept like being in my head about like, oh, I really want to love this book. Like everyone's obsessed with it. Like people are literally getting tattoos on their bodies because of this book. And I was like, oh, I really want to be a part of that. Well, not that I want to get a dragon tattoo, but I was so fearful because I follow a lot of people that definitely hated this book, and I was like, oh my god, like I definitely really have similar tastes in books that they do, and they're saying that they don't like it. No, same. There's only like a handful of people who have said that. I would say the vast majority of people that I've seen online read this book are absolutely obsessed with it. And now that I'm at the 200 page mark, I will have to say that I am becoming one of those people who are obsessed with it. I don't know what happened. I would say around page like 145, 150, like something shifted. And I was like, oh, okay, I see what's going on here. And I have just become obsessed with it. I am so freaking excited to continue reading this book. I will have to say that, I might be butchering her name, but like Haven Books, I think that's how you say her handle on TikTok. When this book was making its rounds through everyone's stories when it had just been released, and she made a TikTok and she said that this book is so early 2010s. And I couldn't agree more with that because I feel like my age group and those ages, like we were all in middle school around that same time. And I feel like that's the same time when a lot of us fell in love with reading and got obsessed to like come home and read our books. Like that was the time period that I read Twilight and I read the Marked series. Like I remember those two series being like, I was literally so freaking excited to go home and read. And this, I could see this morphing into that of like, you kind of just need to know what happens. And I'm so excited about that. And a lot of people are saying that they haven't really felt this way since reading ACOTAR or other things. So definitely am jumping on the bandwagon here. I am enjoying it. I think it also is a very easy, not like easy I would say, but like a fantasy book that I think that maybe true hard fantasy lovers maybe are kind of like, oh, it's not perfect. But I think if you're like branching into this type of genre, I think it's a great fit. I also just think it's an easy read. Like, I also like that in the beginning, maybe you don't need to understand everything, but that's why it makes more sense and you have more fun reading because things start to unravel and connections start making sense. And so I'm just excited to see where it goes. Obviously, I've been seeing like so many like, you know, not tropes, but like, I wouldn't say spoilers online, but you know, I know who the main characters of love interests are, so it's not like that's so shocking to me reading this book, and I'm excited to see and read it grow and watch it grow. But yeah, I'm just super pumped. I'm gonna keep reading. It's a gorgeous day out today. Just kind of chilling. I'm going to get a massage in like 2 hours. I'm so freaking excited because I have just been stressed beyond belief, and I thought I would treat myself, so I am. And yeah, I think that's about it, but I wanted to pop on here and give a proper reading update because I haven't really yet. And so hopefully maybe another 200 pages or so, I will update you again, and then hopefully let's finish this bad boy. All the fun pumpkin things I got at Trader Joe's. Could do a little haul. But look at all these. I'm very excited for this. Very, very, very excited. This looks good too. I got pumpkin butter. Oh, I also got. Hold on. Oh! So I got some pumpkin bread. So I'll make all of this. Hello, everyone. Happy Sunday. Don't mind the mess behind me. It's a mess everywhere. It's Sunday cleaning day in this household. I also just want to show you, I got a bunch of things I showed you from Trader Joe's yesterday, including that pumpkin bread. And this is that. Doesn't it look? I just made it. I'm very excited. I'm also going to be using this pumpkin butter with it. Can't wait to see how that is. But yeah, just kind of having a Sunday regroup type of day. The Bears game is going to be on later. So excited. And also show you a new addition that I got. I went to Michael's yesterday. So I got a diamond painting yesterday. I'm so excited about it. I started it. I spent hours on this last night and it doesn't even look like I made any progress on it. But here, take a look. So this is literally all I did last night. I mean, I don't know, for my first diamond painting, it's pretty freaking giant. But that's the image of it. I thought it was so pretty. So I can't wait, but it's been very nice. I put on an audiobook last night and I just kind of started doing it. Started diamond painting. I'm gonna sit down and do a little bit more after cleaning, get a slice of pumpkin loaf, and just enjoy my Sunday. But yes, also giving a reading update to The Fourth Wing. I know I was listening to a fantasy book. I was listening to the second book in the Nora Roberts series. I think it's called The Becoming. I think the first book's called The Awakening. It's kind of a cheesy fantasy, but it just puts me in a fantasy mood. I'm about 100 pages more into The Fourth Wing. I am still absolutely loving it, becoming completely obsessed. It is all consuming me. I was last night thinking like, oh my god, I do really want to read The Fourth Wing, but I was like, well, I really want to diamond paint at the same time. So it was kind of a convoluted time with that, but it's fine. It is what it is. But yeah, super excited. Just have a chill Sunday and give a little update. Later, hopefully I read a little bit more of The Fourth Wing today. And yeah, check in. Yeah, so I'm almost done with this book, and yeah, I'm here for it. I am here, I am ready, and I am here for the party. This book, I don't even know where to form my opinions right now, but it is just so good. I feel like, fell into a fantasy type of romantasy type of setting in so long since ACOTAR. This does give off ACOTAR vibes. Again, like the main characters, I guess totally in a way they could be like Feyre and Rhys. But it definitely is different. I wouldn't like not read it because you're like, oh, I don't want to just read ACOTAR again. It definitely is different. The world's different. The dragons in here, or honestly the main characters in my eyes, like they are so good. I love every scene that's in there. I also want to put a scoff meter, like SCOFF, because I feel like almost every single interaction with the dragons or with our main character, even other characters in the book, like it's like, and they scoffed or he scoffs, and I've never seen it, and I just think it's so funny, and I want to like keep a tab of how many times I've like read that in this book. And I feel like that might be my only critique and critiques I've seen. It's like, yeah, maybe some of the dialogue is kind of like, okay, whatever. But I will just disregard that because it is what it is. I'm having so much fun reading it. It's just a good time. I would say it took me about 200 pages to really get into it. But then after that, like, stuff keeps happening and you just are kind of enthralled and you're just kind of in for the ride till the very end. I mean, it's action-packed and it's definitely like, it's romantasy. It's definitely, I feel like, a good even keel between the romance developing and also the plot that's going on. I think Rebecca Yarros, I think that's how you say her last name, I'm not too sure. I think her background is romance writing, so it does make sense I could see how her influence into the romance is making its way into it, and I love it. I think it's great. I'm here for it. I'm ready to see how this ends. I cannot wait for the second book. I'm glad I'm reading it like a couple months before it actually comes out. I believe it comes out November 7th, and hopefully I'm ready. I don't think I'll need a reread, hopefully not, but you know me, I might have like forgotten everything, but definitely recommend. It has romance, it has fantasy, it has freaking dragons, and they are so fun. I just think it's fun that I haven't really been in a setting and read a book in this type of world and this type of setting or world. I guess there's like Priory of an Orange Tree, which I started and I haven't finished, and that's also on my goal list. I know, you can come for me. But I feel like that's the only other book besides like, I don't know, Aragon, when we were like in middle school, that features dragons in this type of way. But it's like not dorky. If you're thinking like, oh, I don't want to read a book with dragons, like that's so dorky. Like, they're so cool. They're basically just like main characters too, and this type of world is just so inviting and you just kind of get sucked into it, and I definitely haven't really felt that. Honestly, like I said, haven't felt that since ACOTAR, and the world building, the kind of just light fantasy, I think this is. Like, I think this book and ACOTAR, those are really good books to like beginners of fantasy. And then I think like, you know, if you like The Fourth Wing, and then if you like ACOTAR and you're really vibing with that type of fantasy and you're craving more fantasy rather than maybe romance, then I think we can venture into like more type of bigger fantasy books like Brandon Sanderson. I believe Robin Hobb is also pretty good, like deep, like thick fantasy books that get into the plot, like you are thick into the world building of fantasy. But I think it's fun to read things like The Fourth Wing because you don't have to take it that seriously. You can just let loose, dive into the story, and see where it takes you, because you better believe it takes you a bunch of different places and you have no idea what's going on until you read the next page, and then you're like, holy shit. And then you're like, okay, let me keep going, and then it's just a fun time. I also really enjoy that the chapters are kind of wonky in this book. I'll show you like the beginnings of it. They're kind of like in the middle. Like, this is the first chapter. And then this is chapter 2. So it's like in the middle of the page, kind of. And some of them like is a blank page and then you turn it and then it's the next chapter. So kind of a weird formatting, but it honestly is helping me read faster. Crazy enough, just this kind of weirdness. You kind of just go right into the next chapter and you're kind of still enthralled in the storyline. So I'm enjoying that aspect. People might not like that, but I'm okay with it. And yeah, so that's my update. Hopefully should finish this possibly tonight, possibly tomorrow, not quite sure. But yeah, I'm super excited. This is probably weird lighting because the sun's like half on me right now. But I just wanted to give you this reading update, and I'll probably update you when I'm done reading this. And yeah. Hey, so this is the angle. Am I in the same sweatshirt as last clip and yesterday? Yes. Does not matter. Does that matter? No. Why? Because we have to talk about it. We have to talk about it because I finished it and I'm unwell. I don't even really know how to think right now. Also, so sorry if there's a lot of background noise. I have my windows open right now. We're just gonna have to deal because I don't want to retake this clip. But holy crap. Hang on, big buzz. The ending, the last like couple words, I would say, of this book, like, what the heck? What the heck? I'm obviously not gonna say it so it doesn't spoil anything, but I love it. I love that that's what sets up the next book. Get ready, it is a cliffhanger. It is a total cliffhanger. Everything's just going to shit, I feel like, right now. But in the best way to go to the next book. Overall, I had a great time reading this book. I think, like I kind of said in my last little update, if you like ACOTAR, if you like that type of vibe reading a book, you're gonna enjoy reading this book. Is the dialogue the best thing ever? No. Is the plot, maybe there's some confusing bits and maybe she could have gone deep into it also too, but I don't care about any of that because I just want a good freaking time reading a book, and that's what this was a good freaking time. We got dragons, we got romance, we have adventure, but it has everything. It is a fantasy book, so there's a fantasy world, and sometimes those worlds are kind of confusing, and sometimes you just kind of have to read and see what happens and see if you find out and see if it makes sense or not in your head, and sometimes it doesn't, and that's okay. It's okay. It happens to the best of us. But yes, I would pick this book up if you are wanting romance, a fantasy world, dragons, bonds, that type of stuff, the same type of kind of like bond, not like mates type of thing, but that same idea like ACOTAR has. But basically, as another quick synopsis of this book, this follows Violet as she enters the dragon quadrant, the dragon quadrant of this type of college in this type of world. Her whole life she thought she was going to be a scribe and work with books and recording history and things like that. But no, she is in the most dangerous quadrant that there is. Her mother is also a huge general there too, so there's a lot of standards. Both of her siblings have also been in the draggers been a dragon rider, so it's just a lot riding against her. So she enters the dragon quadrant, and in this she has to do a series of tests, basically literally last a full year in the school, go through things, and she also has to bond with a dragon, which is something that many people underestimate her for because she is so frail. She is not like the other riders there, so everyone is kind of against her. Many people do not want her there, so it's up to her to kind of prove herself to everyone else, but also to herself. And everything from there happens. I don't really want to go too much into it because I do not want to spoil anything for anyone. If you haven't read this book and you do want to go pick it up, I think it is a fun read. Go into it just wanting to escape for a little while. You want a fast-paced read. You just don't want to have to think that hard. You just want to have fun, and you want to finish the book being like, holy crap, I need to know what happens next. This is it. I believe the next book comes out November 7th, 2023. So let's all get ready for this book, and let's have another fun series where we could all just bond over and have a fun time in, and that's what I'm saying. So I think that's the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know down below if you have read The Fourth Wing before, if you want to read The Fourth Wing. Let me know. But yeah, I hope you all are having a lovely week, and I will see you guys soon in my next video.